Alright, what's going on guys? Gino checking back here for another video today, and in this video I figured I'd talk about how to improve and actually grow lagging body parts. Now I think that growing lagging body parts is a really common subject, especially in beginning lifters. And what ends up happening most of the time is that when people have lagging body parts, they think that they have to do every single exercise in the book in one training in an attempt to just make it grow. But that's not actually the way you should approach your lagging body parts when it comes to training and trying to make it grow. Just as a quick example, if someone has a lagging chest, which I had personally, like when I started lifting, you will see those people trying every single exercise in one training. So they will start off with the flat bench, incline bench, decline bench, incline dumbbell press, flat dumbbell press, decline dumbbell press, incline flies, flat bench flies, decline flies, machine flies, and I can just go on and on. But they will do every single exercise in the book while they have the idea that this is what will actually make their lagging body parts grow. I remember feeling so happy when I realized that this is not the way that you should approach your lagging body parts. When it comes to it, there are actually some basic things you can apply to your training which will make your lagging body parts grow without you trying every single exercise in the book and doing a lot of unnecessary things that are actually just simply a waste of time while you can do things more optimally. Alright, without further ado, let's just hop on to the first thing that you have to focus on when you try to grow lagging body parts, and that is focus on your form. In my opinion, what you have to focus on first and foremost is try to figure out why your lagging body part is a lagging body part. And most of the time it's actually form related. Just as a quick example, if you're doing like bicep curls and your bicep is a lagging body part and you're only curling up to around here instead of curling up to here, that could be a huge lead up to why your biceps are actually lagging, which is actually necessary to fully develop a muscle. So by looking at these things and reflecting on them and realizing that you're actually doing something wrong during the exercise, you can apply the correct way to the exercise by utilizing a full range of motion and focusing on an explosive concentric, which is the upwards motion of the movement, and focusing on a slow negative or eccentric part of the movement, which is actually the part where the most muscle mass is going to be broken down, which is necessary for muscle growth, as long as you're in a caloric surplus, obviously. Alright, and besides utilizing correct form, there's also another trick that I want to give to you guys, and that is focusing on actually training the muscle that you want to train. And this might sound very simple since you just obviously do the exercises that target the muscle you want to target, but what I mean by this is actually contracting the muscle you want to contract. Let's say, for example, I've used this example like 1,000 times before on the channel, but like I said, I had a lagging chest when I started out lifting, and one of the things that actually made my chest grow a lot is focusing on feeling the muscle contract and seeing the muscle contract in the mirror. For example, I used to do incline dumbbell presses and never actually feel the exercise work my chest, and I got really irritated by that. And then I finally realized that I had to lower the weight and watch in the mirror if I saw my chest pop out, like this, when I was doing the exercise. And once I finally realized that I had to do that, and literally trying to create a mind to muscle connection while seeing the muscle contract in the mirror, I realized that the growth of my chest was rapidly increasing simply by knowing what I had to do, and finally started feeling the exercises work my chest. And you can simply apply this to any exercise in every muscle group simply by slowing down the tempo. Like for example, on a bench press, you let the weight slowly drop and feel the stretch, and press it up and feel the contraction. You can do the same thing for back. Like for example with a lat pull down, actually feeling the squeeze in your back and slowly letting it stretch out. Same for biceps, same for triceps, same for shoulders. Slowing down the tempo really helps with creating a mind to muscle connection and feeling the exercises work the muscle you want to work. Alright, so the second subject I want to focus on is focusing on frequency. Now if you want to improve a lagging body part, it's really important to focus on training it frequently throughout the week. The process that starts working after a workout is called muscle protein synthesis, which is the process of your muscles recovering and growing up to the point that you've broken them down to. So say for example, I train my chest on Monday, the muscle protein synthesis process starts working, and that lasts for about 48 to 72 hours, which means that I can basically, in practice, train my chest again on Wednesday. So by doing that, my chest will be constantly in a growing state instead of just working it once per week on the most famous bro splits. If I remember correctly, when I noticed that I had a lagging chest and I started utilizing all these things that I'm covering in the video, I started training my chest or utilizing push days on Monday, Wednesday, and I believe even on Friday, and then I had some pull days and leg days in between. So basically I trained everything 2 times per week, but I made sure that I trained my chest 3 times per week, since that was my lagging body part, and that allowed me to, you know, focus on frequent training and stimulating muscle protein synthesis 3 times throughout the week. So say for example, if you have lagging legs or whatever muscle group you have that is lagging at the moment, try training it 2 times or maximum of 3 times per week, and you will see rapid results, trust me. Right, the third thing I want to focus on is progressive overload. Alright, so in case you didn't know, progressive overload simply means creating a bigger stimulus during your training over time. So in other words, or in basic English, getting stronger on the exercises you do over time. And progressive overload is actually one of the key drivers to muscle growth and hypertrophy. Alright, so how do you put this into practice? You pick exercises that you can apply progressive overload on. So for your chest it will be the bench press, and what you should then try to do is add 2.5 kilograms to the bar in total per training. And you can do this by, you know, trying a 5x5 program or reverse pyramid training program. You know, every kind of strength training program which has the focus of you gaining strength, which, you know, is pretty much the goal with progressive overload, is trying to add weight to the bar incrementally with, you know, small increments of 2.5 kilograms over time when it is possible. So say for example, I benched 100 kilograms for a 5x5 on Monday, and I train my chest again on Wednesday. I should then try to do 102.5 kilograms for a 5x5. So that means that I added 2.5 kilograms to the bar on the bench press, and that is progressive overload. But what if the muscle that you're trying to work doesn't have a compound movement? So say for example for biceps, what I then advise you to do is pick an exercise that you can create progressive overload on. So say for example supinating bicep curls, and just try to increase the weight over time. If you're now using 10 kilogram weights, try to do that for a set of 10 to 15, and once you've reached 15 reps, try to up the weight to 12 kilogram and work up to 15 reps again. And you can basically apply this to any single exercise in the book as long as you're creating progressive overload over time. Just make sure that your form is in check and you're not lifting with your ego, since I've been a victim to that, and by doing that you're actually putting yourself at risk for injury, and if you're injured, every muscle group will be a lagging muscle group. Alright, so then we have volume. Now if you have a lagging body part, what everyone immediately starts doing, besides doing every exercise in the book, which actually comes down to the same thing, is increase volume. Now there is a time and place for everything, but you should not increase volume too much, but not too little as well. Alright, so when we're covering volume, I actually want to refer to a study that Dr. Brad Schoenfeld did. There's apparently a direct correlation between high volume training, I'm talking about 10 to 15 sets per week, and higher hypertrophy rates. There was a group of people who did 10 plus sets per week on a given exercise, and there was a group who did around 5 sets per week, and pretty obviously, the group who did 10 plus sets per week on a given exercise made more hypertrophy gains than the group who did 5 sets per week. And the practical takeaway from this is that around 10 to 15 sets per week on a given muscle group will lead to bigger hypertrophy gains over time. So what I recommend you to do is do at least around 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week. And I mean at least. Like for example, if you do 5 sets on bench, 3 sets on incline press, and 3 sets on chest flies, and you're doing that 3 times per week, that's already around like what, 33 sets or something per week. So the practical takeaway is to do at least 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week. So if you're training your lagging body part more frequently, like 3 times per week, you will automatically do more sets per muscle group per week. So a really easy way to do this is to pick the exercises that you know you can apply progressive overload on, and simply do it with more sets. So I'm talking 4 or 5 sets per exercise. If you normally do like 3 sets per exercise on every single exercise, like I said, pick exercises that you can apply progressive overload to and get stronger on the exercises while increasing the sets and keeping a hypertrophy rep range to it over time in an attempt to grow your lagging body parts. And the last thing that I want to cover is be patient. I can assure you that with patience, your lagging body parts, if you utilize all the things that I covered in the video, will grow if you give it time. I had to train my chest 3 times per week for I think around 3 years until I was finally confidently able to say that I didn't have a lagging chest anymore. So by utilizing all the things that I covered in this video and giving it time, you will grow your lagging body parts. Alright, and that is all for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to smash the like button because it really helps out the channel grow. Now, if you thought this video was helpful and you think that other people can benefit from this video as well, then please consider sharing this video with your friends. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel for so much more content coming really soon. I'm out, guys, and peace out. See you in the next one.